how's it going, everybody? Gabriel, Santiago here. This is the Speaking of Harmony podcast, and this is episode 23. Already 23. Wow. Thank you so much for the feedback. Before we go into today's subject, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Activate the little bell thing notifications. This is all my social media stuff. Give it a thumbs up for this video. I feel like it helps a lot with the algorithm. And also don't forget to sign up for the mailing list. Very important as well. Link description in the video over here. Thank you. So, all these harmonies that we love to play. Right, all these great harmonies, Brazilian harmony and jazz harmony and this stuff, like there is something that kind of glues them together, all these chords. There is some consistency there, right? And that's what I would love to talk about today. Some people call this the guide tones, or I like to call them melodic axis, right? People call different names, but it's just basically the same thing. Just the principle is that all these chords, these diatonic chords that we use, even with upper structure and stuff, but that follow some kind of a tonal scheme in a way. They all have thirds and sevenths, and if you just kind of zoom in, you see that the thirds and the seventh are actually the notes, the elements that kind of connects them and create some kind of a hashtag voice leading in between these chords, right? So if you take a song like that that I was playing before, this is called Brigas Nunca Mais by Antônio Carlos Jobim. So the melody is first part goes. So you have A major, A flat, 7, altered, G major 7, F sharp 7, sharp 5, or flat 13, right? So these chords, if you take just the thirds and the seventh, you can pretty much draw the movement of these chords. Let me do it. So we'll sing the melody and just play thirds and seventh, right? See, I just play. I just play thirds and sevenths, right? A bunch of you guys already know all this, right? But there are a lot of people who don't, and this is kind of like what it is, right? It just the thirds and the seventh intervals in these chords, they kind of have a strong binding. They bind the chords together, so you can use them as some kind of a path, to voice lead these chords, right? And usually it goes like this. When you have the sequence of 2 5 1s and stuff like that, and whenever you have this sort of like fifth kind of jumps, fourth and fifth, you can apply this principle. Meaning, if you have let's say a 2 5 1, right, to C major, right? So if you go to D minor, F is the third and C is the seventh, right? So when you resolve that into G7, you see that there's always some kind of occurrence where the seventh either resolves into the third or it becomes the third, and vice versa, and the third resolves into 7 or becomes the 7 if the note is kept, right? So in this case, D minor, so F is the third, is gonna be kept, but it's gonna become the 7th of G, see? And the 7th of D, which is C, is gonna resolve into the 3rd of G, which is B, right? Then if you go on and then resolve that into C major, major 7, you see that the 7th resolve down into the 3rd of C, and the 3rd of G becomes the 7th of C. You see? So that's kind of usually how it works, you know, any kind of sequence like that when you have all these fifth jumps in chords, right? A quick example here, right? So you see the third resolve back down into the seventh, and the seventh resolve into the third, and then third and seventh, third resolve into the seventh, and seventh resolve into the third, and then vice versa, and then go on, right? So this is kind of the principle, thirds and sevenths, right? So if you do that, you can play any kind of standard, you know, Brazilian standard or jazz standard like this, you know, pretty much using thirds and sevenths, right? So a quick example, I can go, you know, right? Alternately. I just use seventh and thirds, right? Another one, let's say, other things you are, right? You can do. Oh, C minor, sorry. I just did. Not reharmonize, I just harmonize everything just using thirds and seventh, and then if you put the bass, you pretty much have the chord figured out, right? You can do that's just thirds and sevenths and the bass, right? Right? So it's pretty easy to navigate chords when you have that figured out, when you're kind of aware that the thirds and the sevenths are kind of like guiding. That's why people call them sometimes guide tones, right? And there is this axis, as I call melodic axis, like just kind of like supporting the chords, right? So you can play around with that. And, you know, you can find different axes as well, you know. This is just kind of the basic one, but just trying to find elements within the chord that helps the chord to connect, right? Points that you can use to voice leading. And thirds and sevenths are usually, you know, no-brainers. You can definitely use that at will, right? So I hope you like that one, and I'll see you in the next one. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the little bell, the notifications. This is all my social media stuff, and don't forget to sign up for the mailing list. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.